Hello friends, welcome to this video, and in this video we'll discuss about the assembler, the compiler, the interpreter, and we'll talk about the differences between these. Okay, we'll also talk about the differences. So first let's talk about the assembler. Now there is one common thing between all these assembler, compiler and the interpreters. They translate your high level language into a low level language. They are used to translate high level language code into the low level language code. Now this is their particular job of translating high level language code into low level language code, and all these three are computer programs. Okay, now the compiler, the assembler and the interpreter, these three are computer programs, and their task is to translate high level language code into low level language code. Now let's first talk about the assembler. Now the assembler handles the translating of your assembly code, which is the mnemonic code, into the machine code or the binary code. The compiler translates your high level language code written in Java or C++ or Python. Sorry, not Python. Java, C++ we can take as an example. So it translates your high level language code into your assembly code or directly your binary code if the compiler has inbuilt translation of the assembly code in place. And then the interpreter also translates your high level language code, which can be Python or Ruby code or Perl code, to binary code. Okay, now you can see there is the task of translating high level language into low level language is the same for both compiler and the interpreter. Then what is the difference between two? In the case of compiler, this translation is done before program gets executed. Okay, and in case of the interpreter, this translation happens during program execution. So that is the difference between a compiler and the interpreter. And there are some other differences as well, like the compiler has to store the machine code in the executable format because it does not get executed immediately after the compilation process. It has to wait till the actual program gets executed, so it has to store in between. And the interpreter need not store any executable, it will directly execute from the source code to the machine code. And other difference is the interpreter, because it's interpreting line by line during the program execution, it's a bit slow process, whereas the compiler, it's a bit fast process because we have already compiled our program and it's ready to get executed. And in terms of the code optimization is possible in case of the compiler, and in case of the interpreter it's not possible because we have to interpret line by line and it will take a lot of time in optimizing the code. And in case of the compiler, we need not have a compiler in memory for translating the code because we have already translated the code beforehand, the execution of the program. And in case of the interpreter, we need an interpreter to run in the memory along with the program because we have to execute the program line by line. So that's all in this video. So we have seen the basic difference between the compiler and interpreter, and we have seen what is an assembler, compiler, and an interpreter. Thanks for watching.